Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderheads and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we have ourselves a track from an act named Ellis Hadlock. And if we switch over to here and go up a little bit, we have the website of Ellis Hadlock. 127 songs, so we've written quite a bit of material here. I believe I've listened to Ellis Hadlock before. I see obviously a lovely smile and we've got the guitar here and everything like that. This is his record, his latest one, Nature in Space. Celebrating the beauty, splendor, and mysteries of nature in space. Enjoy the relaxing ambient sounds. World New Age, release date November 2021. Excellent! So we're going to listen through each of these tracks from start to finish and hear what we think. Let's go. Excellent. Great. I really enjoy it when people have their own websites to listen to their music through. It kind of brings you into their kind of part of town, if you know what I mean. You're not tempted by anything else. You can just focus on their music and their stuff. To gaze into space is beautiful, mysterious, magical, and full of splendor. So we got some synth strings in here and accompaniment to the piano line. I'm loving this rise, this change in the filtering of these instruments. It's gorgeous, it really is. It's very well polished, and it kind of does make you feel like you're in space, which is something I think is obviously very important from the get-go, right? And this shift in the energy levels in combination with the attention to the dynamic range of the various instruments and the overall track is very, very good. I'm enjoying this so far. This pan flute, or something along the lines there, is a lovely additional texture to this. Lovely accompaniment, additional layer of development within this track. And you don't really need to do too much to keep things interesting when you've got a track, especially one between 2 and 4 minutes. It's just the little things that matter. I'm loving that, the way it oscillates, the blah, 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 blah. You know, that comes down to the technique of the person performing the instrument to be able to get it to behave like that. And for that kind of, their expertise to be on display is very good. I enjoy that. It makes you feel confident about the rest of the time you're going to spend with this album. Sorry, I was wondering if it would like take you to like an individual track, but apparently that does not. I think we're up to here. I'll stop pressing buttons now. I don't think we were too far from where we are at the moment. You know, I've just had a really stressful time recently, like if I'm being honest with you, and this kind of music is exactly what I need. There's a, you know, like there's a time and a place for really energetic, vibrant, in-your-face music. Time and place for rock and metal, the kind of stuff I'm really into, as well as dubstep and stuff. But this, it has a special place in my sort of oral preferences. We got that synth riser there. Kind of reminds you of some of the electronic era in the mid-2000s, you know? In addition, with that pan flute, it's just a fantastic combination there. Splendor in space. It is just a journey. You know, and when I say just, that almost makes it sound like it's not much. It's a lot. It takes quite a bit to understand how to make a track like this matter. And so far, Ellis Hadlock has nailed it. Excellent. So we've got sunrise moments next. Enjoy the moments of a beautiful sunrise. Great. Great. So similar synthetic elements to the previous track. Oh, this is such great music, isn't it? It's really well done. I got a lot, like genuinely, I've got a lot of love for it. I think it's really, really smart to create music like this in an age where a lot of us are really stressed out. And, you know, we just need to be able to break away from the typical slog. And because it's instrumental, it's fully subjective. There's nothing guiding you with how you feel you should feel about it. Got some more woodwinds in there in addition to the strings. Some more synths in there. Lovely complex harmonies that have a very rich texture to them. Kind of breathy synths coming in with those pads. Careful attention to the EQing as well. There has been some great filter work on there in regards to the high pass cuts. Oh, some vocals in there as well. I love it when people use vocals as an instrument. As well as or instead of a storytelling device, you know? There's so much power in using something that's a staple of an art form differently. I mean, as long as it sounds good, you know? But it can even sound bad and still be meaningful, you know? It can still sound kind of, how do I say it? Not bad as in like, it could be terrible. It could be a really sad, depressing track, and having a terrible sound could be meaningful in the sense that it represents the rest of what's occurring. And it makes sense in that situation. But to be fair to Ellis Hadlock, I can imagine myself, this would be a lovely way to have a sunrise, you know? Granted, there's quite a lot of change in here, so I assume this is his interpretation of a sunrise moment, or moments. I mean, this is a musician who has released 13 albums. Now, I don't know about you, but releasing one album is incredibly difficult. Try releasing 13. See how you go. Not many bands get to that point, even really big successful ones. Some of them only do a couple before one of them has an ego trip and they end up spilling out, you know? And then they've got to rebuild things and it's not the same, or it gets better in some situations. I think I adore what this musician is trying to do here, which is to present an overall atmosphere and a vibe with that you can interpret for yourself. It's really gentle and caring, and there's an obvious articulation of that passion within this track, along with Splendor in Space, and I assume the others. Fields of Flowers. Oh, hang on. Hang on a minute. We've got Field of Flowers, haven't we? Is it on shuffle or something like that? I hope not. Enjoy life and take the time to smell the many flowers. I think a good thing to do with these kinds of songs is to close your eyes and imagine, not necessarily force yourself, but just close your eyes and wait until these thoughts come to mind and see if they reflect or match the description of it, you know. Or better yet, close your eyes without reading the description and then read the description and see if they match. Because if they match without you being prompted to think of light flowers, then the song is doing an incredible job, really, if you think about it. And in a way, I would consider instrumental music to be exceptionally powerful when it does help you to imagine something like that without needing to guide you along with words, because that just requires such an incredible insight into the human condition and what we feel and think to be able to nail that. You know, I instantly think this is one of my favorite reviews that I've ever done, primarily because I just get to listen to really beautiful music. And it's one of the very few times where I've, you know, just realized I left the fan on. It's warm enough. It's cool enough, and you know, where I live at the moment without it getting colder. But you know, I just don't get enough of these experiences where I can just sit and chill. You know, just vibe with a track. It's a shame. Like, to be completely and brutally honest with you, I'm not quite sure what's happened with music. I don't even really know how to interpret like the purpose of it nowadays. What is music? Where's the point where you become so good at what you do as a musician that you feel like you've made it and you can just do it as a hobby? You know, because clearly Ellis Hadlock is at a point where they are... Like, I'm not even being disingenuous or anything. I think genuinely this is as good as it needs to be. I listen to this. These strings, those woodwind flutes come back. There is stylistic integration within each of the tracks. There's callbacks. There's a connection tonally and texturally between the different instruments. It sounds like you're walking through a field of flowers. There's all these beautiful colors to it. It's pristine. It's magnificent. Where is the point? Like, when did we get to the point where, like, a song like this, like, isn't massively awesome and, like, hugely, like, profoundly successful? When did we get to a point where there was just so much of this music from all these different genres that the music industry is as it is today? Because don't get me wrong, I think this is thoroughly fantastic music, but a lot of the musicians I listen to that are incredibly viscerally talented are the ones that have a criminally low amount of exposure. And ironically, like, a lot of the musicians I listen to who focus primarily on the marketing, perhaps even at the reduction of quality of the music, are the ones which have, but then again, people, I've interviewed people and they buy their views these days. But I think the fact that I'm thinking about the stuff as I listen to this album is basically enabling my brain to slow down and just process stuff more naturally. And I think that's one of the biggest compliments I can possibly give Ellis Hadlock, is that as someone who is an incredibly anxious person, especially this time of year, listening to this track, I just feel so at peace with it. There's these lovely major tonalities and gentle caressing, elements, and there's not a whole lot of change or pomp or circumstance. Like it's just well-written compositions that are meant to put forward a concept, and you can either agree or disagree on whether it matches it exactly, but I think it does a pretty damn good job of getting close. And waterfalls in the sky. Nope, waterfalls in the sky. The power, beauty, and awe of waterfalls. Now this will be the test, of course, is that this is a 6-minute, nearly a 7-minute track. Don't even know why I have the main camera on. I'm not going to be looking at that one until the end of the review, but... yeah, I didn't mean to get so sentimental. Actually, no, I did mean to get sentimental. I'm a music reviewer, I can talk about it, it's music related. The irony of myself as a music reviewer is that I have to try and substantiate what I say about this music in a way that's non-emotional a lot of the time, because anyone can feel stuff about music, right? Like that delay there on the piano, that glistening, that kind of... oh, cool. There's a tremendous dynamic range and difference in the loudnesses of these notes that are being played, and I love the different layers of it, different volumes. I don't know where we're going next with Waterfalls in the Sky, Have those vocals come back. We've got some interesting stereo panning going on here, haven't we? Oh, they're building that envelope of that synth pad. Lovely reverbs and sustains on these individual instruments. Oh, there's a low-end resonance there that I'm quite enjoying at this point. Again, there's enough change in it, and there's little hints that things are about to develop and modulate, and I enjoy that a lot. I genuinely think that if Ellis Hadlock, if they are not involved in music production, not music production, if they're not involved in like cinematic production, like if they're not involved in creating soundtracks for films and stuff, it's probably something worth considering for them, I would assume they would be, considering they're on this level, but... if not, please, Ellis Hadlock, if you're watching this, go try it. Go try it. Have a look at that. Go check it out. Go see if you can find some indie filmmakers to work with who actually have some money to pay you for your time, because you should be paid for your time if you're creating music for scores like that. But, you're clearly on the level of being able to sort of offer that. I don't know, like maybe with this track it would have been cool to have had the foley of waterfalls or something like that, and like with Fields of Flowers to have had the foley of like wind blowing through like a field. And I mean, obviously with space and sunrise, it's difficult to know what a sunrise sounds like. aside from the musical interpretation of it. But then of course, like, you kind of, if you're gonna have Foley for one thing, you need Foley for most things, right? So it's tricky balance there. Oh, we're coming back to that piano theme there. Well done. Returning to that, we've had an ABA structure in this near 7-minute long track. Fairly delicate yet accurate piano playing right now, and we've got interesting melodies on that right hand. Oh, we're going down the bottom to that bass end? Cool, occasionally. Kind of sounds like rain, doesn't it? I suppose that's the point of it, right? It sounds like it's falling on your head, the drops from the waterfall. I feel so at peace. It's wild, dude. I feel so peaceful right now. It's crazy. I adore this with all my heart. I really enjoy the fact that this music exists. And I am not super familiar with this style of genre of music. I've heard a bit of it, but not a huge amount. But I enjoy that I've had the opportunity to be a part of this ride with this song. I genuinely do. You know, and we're past the halfway point now, which is genuinely a shame. I need to take a break in just a sec, but I want to finish out the song first. Yeah, I used to feel like stretching and having a nap. Whew, goodness. What's up with that, eh? Excellent form. Well done. Kudos to you, Ellis Hadlock. I'll just be a sec. Alright, let's continue. We've got Waterfalls in the Sky. Solar Winds. Just before I continue, Waterfalls in the Sky, you know, aside from me wanting sort of Foley sounds from the waterfalls and stuff, I think that it did still do a great job of doing what the effective goal was. You know, the beauty, splendor, and mysteries of nature and space. Enjoy the relaxing ambient sounds. So even if it doesn't sound necessarily to me like a specific thing, A, it might sound that way to others, and B, I'm still feeling pretty relaxed. Solar Winds. Okay, what do we got here? Number 5. The light of the sun, the winds come. Again, this is different to what we've had previously, and I enjoyed that a lot. Kind of sounds like there's satellites orbiting your skull, doesn't there? Interesting. Oh. More woodwinds. More flutes. It sounds like you're in a nice warm blanket overseeing everything that's being sort of described within the descriptions of the tracks, you know? This is an interesting sounding lead melody though. There's a deep fundamental understanding of music production and like sort of how synths work and stuff related to this. That modulation's pretty dope. We're floating up in the air, we're coming back down, boys and girls. Stunning. Beautiful stuff. Really well done. Oh, it's gorgeous. I'm so happy I got the opportunity to listen to this album. I don't usually sort of exhibit such glowing praise for an album, but it's really well done. There's a lovely resonance and sustain on that. I mean, like, when you close your eyes again, do you imagine the winds? Again, I find it very easy to do that. Most importantly, it's very soothing. And it sounds like it's dancing around, eh? I would, by the way, recommend you listen to this with decent headphones, just so you can have that experience there if you, so you can hear the stereo panning and everything involved in that in the way that it's meant to be. Well, that's a surreal mid to high frequency response there. A bit of a repeater going on there, that's interesting. Wow, is that a voice box or something like that? Or a sort of a modulated moog or something like that? Wow, surreal. It was nice to have those higher pitched, not nicely EQ'd, higher pitched kind of pads come finish us off with solar winds. Charming. Fantastic. Yep, well done. Well done, Ellis Hadlock. You got 5 for 5, my dude. The Lonely Moon. The wonder of space and our nearest neighbor, the Lonely Moon. Where are we going with this next one? Again, you those lovely, deeply textured pads with some. The effects change on these these channels must be pretty fascinating, really. I genuinely could have a nap. I am feeling so super chilled out right now. This is incredibly well written, recorded and produced stuff. A little bit of high-end energy there. Careful attention paid to the role of fourth harmonies. Not all the time, but you can go between them. There is a tinge of sadness to it. That the moon is so far away, although to be fair, if the moon came closer to us, we would have a really tremendously bad time. My understanding is that the moon has something to do with the tides, and would have a really bad time if that moon came any closer than it was, so... You know, like, I'm not even worried about there being a lot of change, because you know what, the brief that we've been provided with for this album going into it, no part of it is like, hey, this needs to be a wildly unpredictable, charismatic, you know, it just needs to be a mood, and Ellis Hadlock has nailed that. Ellis Hadlock has completely nailed it. Breathe it in, boys and girls. Breathe it in. It's charming. There's so much depth in it. There's always different elements that are included here. There's clearly a lot of care taken. It would have taken a long time to compose this track and to get everything just right. And that was 7 minutes that flew by like 7 seconds. Like, it trips me out that that's how easy it was to listen to that. Like, there's a lot of songs which they finish at that 3-minute mark, and you've got The Lonely Moon, which was just a vibe that you could appreciate and enjoy for 7 minutes, and it was amazing. The last track, Stars to Welcome the Light.
Stars in a clear night sky. Silent nights. Comfort me.
It was interesting to have the vocals come in like that. I wasn't expecting that. But that's fine. That's fine, it's all good. A little more pep to this one. I reckon you could probably add some 7-string guitars to this and make a really dope kind of progressive metal soundtrack. I would kind of be down for that, but
Not even Valhalla can match this view.
But like, I gotta be really careful, like, because one thing I have been thinking of is, what if I was like to do metal covers of like the tracks that I review as like an additional gig or something, just so people had, I don't know, you know, just for fun. Because I mean, I've got a 7-string guitar I want to buy, that I put a deposit on, and I want to pick that up before Christmas. And as a music tutor in New Zealand, you have 6 weeks off work between mid-December and February, so... Hey, drums! I'm glad. Well done. Well done for bringing the drums in here for the final track. Well done. Smart move. I was hoping they'd come in here. It felt like there was space for them in the composition. But I'm also glad that they're occasional. You don't need them all the time.
New day. Come and find me.
I don't know if I said the thing for the description. The beautiful and mysterious sight of stars, then the peaceful and hopeful dawn will come. You could also do like a pretty dope EDM mix of this remix. But this isn't what we're here for. But that's the possibilities you have with music that is this interesting and intriguing, you know? You want to... I'm... It's not that I think it would sound better if it was remixed at all. It would just be different.
Here I am.
This is fantastic as it is. Just for there to be a "here I am," that's all that needed to be said there. Again, for the vocals to come in this late into the album is fine, because it indicates this is from the perspective of someone else, you know? That's been observing all this stuff until now, and is now speaking about their experience. Oh, lovely vibrato on those vocals there in that range. Ooh, that low-end resonance there. Ooh, well handled.
Dawn is here.
Dawn is here. It does sound like it's the start of a new day, you know? Kind of makes me want to go into the wilderness and just go and spend time with the stars a little bit. Although New Zealand is unpredictable with its weather, and so like, if I was to go to the wilderness, you know, I'm overthinking it. It's important to go spend time with nature once in a while, you know? Spend too much time in a city and you start feeling like a rat in a cage. Just turn the camera on now. But this has been an excellent album, an excellent record, and Ellis Hadlock ought to feel very proud of themselves for what they've accomplished here, genuinely. And we finish here, having had additional context to the story from the vocals, and we made it. Boys and girls, we made it to the end of Nature in Space by Ellis Hadlock, one of the best albums I've listened to date. And I've been saying that more and more recently because the quality of what I've been listening to has been improving, I think. I've been able to meet a lot of musicians who have a little bit more skin in the game, have been around for a bit longer, and they've shown me their work, and I've been very proud of what I've been able to hear. But this is one of the best within this genre I've listened to, primarily because it is almost flawless in terms of its production, its recording, mixing, and mastering. But additional to that, the instrumental performances were top notch there. We had actual acoustic instruments there that were recorded and they needed to be mic'd. It's very difficult to get the inflections and the little variances otherwise. It's just, each of those tracks had a unique identity to it. The 7-minute tracks, which had all the possibility of becoming kind of gradually less and less interesting, that didn't happen. They were engaging throughout, but also incredibly relaxing and not overwhelming at any point. And just, I love the minimalism with the vocals and Stars to Welcome the Light, just to give a little bit of extra understanding to the listener as I go through that journey. Really, I've got absolutely no complaints here. This is flawless. Again, the only point I'd make is that it would have been great to have some Foley at some bits, but that has already been done a million times by a million different other artists. And I think that for purely a musical performance with the focus purely on the actual instruments, it does incredibly well. And obviously with the vocals and Stars to Welcome the Light, but yeah, I've got no words to describe how I feel after listening to it. That haven't already been said. I feel like I am floating on a cloud right now, and that's a really important thing. Again, as people, we have stressful lives a lot of the time, and there's been a lot of stuff going on in 2021. And I think that music like Ellis Hadlock's with Nature in Space is incredibly important, and we need to cherish and support musicians like this who create material like this. They need to be, they need to know that they're loved, and they need to know that their music matters. And so if you enjoyed this music as someone watching this review, please go and show Ellis Hadlock some love. I'm not telling you to buy their music. You can do what you like. I think each of these tracks is like 75 cents or something like that. And it says here, free download. You know, like, really, this music is more than worth it. This is someone who clearly knows what the hell they're doing. And they're making music that's true to themselves. This isn't an ego project. This is music at its purest. And I adore it to pieces. I don't know what else to say about this. I mean, I know we had Splendor in Space, Vocal Mix, and Extended. I wanted to just listen to these 7 main separate tracks, just because I feel like Splendor in Space, you know, I'm very happy with it. But effectively, that is my review. That is my review of Nature in Space by Ellis Hadlock. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, as I mentioned, please do go check out Ellis Hadlock's various material via their social medias and their website. I think it was, it was a SoundClick page. So I thought it was their website, but it's a SoundClick. But I'll put the links to this anyways and description for this video. Stay cool and stay safe. And please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. Catch you in the next review. Spider hands out. Well done, Ellis Hadlock. Well done.